Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. We're here on November 22nd, our first live stream, giving everything a new test. We have Pyretta here, and joining me is Mager. We are going to be looking at some of the questions that have come into the Discord here. It's been a long time in development, with the indicator. I'm sure a lot of people are very curious what what it does, what the alerts mean, and all that good stuff that comes along with it. So you're pretty excited over there. I know you are, Mager. I know I'm very excited myself, right?
Oh yeah, man. Like you said, this has been like a little bit of a journey. We're super excited. It's a great system we feel like we've developed here. There's a lot to go over. I know you guys are kind of curious on what we really have here, so we offered the question and answer episode, so we can go ahead and get right into the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, because today being the 22nd, it's a monumental day, right? Everybody's been looking forward to this date for quite some time. Swift has finally switched over to the new standard. I personally have stayed away from the charts, right? So let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened on the flip over. Well, Link is still down, so that's not very good, right? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, XRP. Let's take a look at XRP. Oh, XRP looks like it's in the dumper still, right?
Yeah, it's
We look
not looking
forward to
too
these
good.
dates, and we expect huge things to happen, and in the end, they don't, right? But exciting to get the first stream going so we can kind of see how all this stuff works out for the future streams. We have a full audio setup package here and streaming, across the globe, two different countries. So I guess we get right into it and go over some of these questions in the Discord here. I'll transition over here. We have
And Skull, we'll start off there.
yeah. Let's start off over here. I gotta get.
So his question, it's a good one. What makes the gold dot print, and what makes that print reliable?
Right.
So
So yeah. So a gold dots, print. Well, obviously you see the indicator, right? The indicator will show you the uh, the dots that are calculated on the back end. We get the gold dots, we get the red dots, we get the green dots. We're on the 5 day chart here, so we don't get any dots or any green dots on a 5 day chart. So we look to a smaller time frame, and then we would see green dots on those time frames. Um, the um, the gold dots, right? So they are very particular, right? They only will come after a green dot is printed, right? So first, the technical analysis has to line up to get a green dot to print, right? And then we have to see a reversal of the price, right? We have to see momentum building in the asset. Once we see that momentum building in the asset, then and only then will a gold dot print. Like, so if we take a look over here, we got a couple green dots over here, and we can look at the asset at zoom in on there, and we can kind of see here. So we got the three dots here. The price went up a little bit, but it just wasn't enough momentum. I mean, this is zoomed in, so it looks like it's, oh, wow, it looked like it was a pretty big move, but it actually was not very much at all. So we didn't have enough price movement there. Now, this one had a much greater move, right? So this was enough to satisfy that. So these gold dots are, they're pretty accurate, especially on the higher time frames, right? The smaller time frames, There's a lot more risk involved with them. You go up to the 1 day, they're more reliable on the 1 day. On the 5 day chart, they're obviously the most reliable because if we zoom out here on the XRP chart, we can kind of see on our 5 day system up here. We just look at the more recent ones. You know, we got the call down here towards the bottom, and we ripped up to our first all-time high, and we got it back on this dip, and we ripped up again to another all-time high. So the gold dots are to me are pretty reliable on the higher time frame. So the red dots also work an inverse of it, kind of, right? When you see a red dot come up, more that's related to really momentum slowing, right? The price is ripping up and then it's coming down. You see, so the momentum slowed right here on the 5 day. So we ended up getting some red dots here. So green dots, momentum is increasing. Red dots, momentum is decreasing.
Of course, this guy picks XRP.
I mean, it's everybody's favorite, right?
Yeah. Yeah, big day for it too.
Oh, yes, and we got all our ETFs coming out Monday. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. No, that was good though. Covers the dots pretty well. Do you want to get into the next question?
Yeah, let's go in to see what else we got here. All right, so we got DJ.
Yeah. So, for those who joined from OK Discord, which is previous Discord that we were in, Overkill. Don't get me started with that. Anyways, could you explain the difference in the dots compared to his system? Obviously, yours are more specific. So, yeah, if you want to kind of break that down for them, right?
Sure. The dots in our system are really controlled from quite a few different metrics. Okay, we are looking at the MACD. We're looking at these are the MACD and the signal. We're looking at the stochastic RSI, which is down here. We're looking at the RSI up here. We're looking at the price movement. We're looking at are we increasing or decreasing in price? We're looking at down channels. So, and we're also looking at the histogram, and there's a bunch of other things that we're looking at. So we have a lot of different metrics involved with getting our dot prints. The VMC indicator, you guys are very familiar with that. These dot prints that come off of this are really only printed when there's a wave trend cross, right? So you can see the light blue here crosses up over the dark blue, you'll get a dot. So if the light blue crosses up over, you're going to get a green dot. If the light blue crosses down, you're going to get a red dot. Right. So you get red dots on the bottom, you get red dots on the top, you get green dots on the top. I mean, it's like a freaking Christmas tree over here, right? So how do you even know which one to buy? And this is at a 5-day time frame. I mean, look at all those dots. I mean, it's a lot. So there's a lot of different factors involved with our indicator to achieve these dots. Whereas on this one, these dots are really only printed from the wave trend crossing. They say, well, how does a gold dot print on this one, right? A gold dot prints on that when you have a bullish divergence right here. So like this is a bullish divergence right here. So if this were to have been below that white line, that would have been a gold dot down there. So so that's what the main difference is between the two.
Well, I just want to touch base with something there that you touched. When you said down channel, can you kind of explain that, what that red bar is there and what you're saying in the down channel?
Yeah, so what we're doing here is we have the calculation on the back end create a band across the different price range over the past 30 candles, right? And the price action of the candles has to bounce up off the top band and down below off the bottom band, and it ping pongs back and forth during that time frame. If you cross over the top band, you're going to break out of the channel here, right? So you can kind of see we were in a band right here. It detected we were down there. It price rocketed up over the band and it broke the channel. So that's why there's no red bars down here. So these ones, this area wasn't detected, right? So this kind of looks like it's in a down channel, but remember, we're keeping track of the past, I think it's 20 candles on the 5-day chart. And then it detected, okay, look, we're back in a down channel here. So when you're in this down channel, dots will not print. Okay. I mean, it would be silly to print them. I mean, the system's saying, hey, we're moving down. We're not going to print any dots in that channel. Right. And, so if we go down to a smaller time frame here, let's pick a different asset. Let's look at the H bar. Okay. So if we pick a different asset here and, look back in a smaller time frame, right? We can kind of see we got a green dot here. We got the gold dot, right? But we didn't get any green dots in here, right? So if we turned off the down channel detection, there would be some green dots in here. But because it's in a down channel, they get suppressed. And once they're suppressed, right, because even if it's supposed to be one in here, then a gold dot will not print, right? So it has to get a gold dot outside of the down channel.
Good. Yeah. That explains it well.
Yeah, I mean, it's really geared to try and make the best possible decision of if you want to get into a trade or not, right? You don't want to buy something that's in a down channel. Again, I love looking at this. Whenever I have to go back and retune the indicator on a different time frame, I will always go back and look at this down channel right here from Ethereum. We went from December all the way to April in this channel, and we only got one green dot that fell outside of it. The price came back up, but it just wasn't enough to satisfy to get a gold dot, right? We dropped back down. Price was satisfied over here, and then we ripped up, right? So this is one of my favorite charts to look at when I have to modify any of the settings in the indicator.
Yeah, that was our main focus going in. We built this specifically around Bitcoin and Ethereum, so it works best with those. The charts are the most accurate with those because, well, we all know that both of those control the market. Bitcoin moves, Ethereum moves, and then the alts move, right? So if we can catch Ethereum and Bitcoin's move, we're going to be able to catch the alts move, right? So there's a question there, Pi. So again, with the down channel, before we leave this topic, they're asking, would it be a good place to leverage a short?
So it would, in the current status, okay, so just, we'll go back in time just a little bit. So the original intention here was we were going to come up to build this indicator, to do some, leverage trading and literally just to print money hand over fist, right? So that's what we started off with doing, and then we were going to move into the spot, right? But then they started manipulating the market way too much. It was provided too much risk for anybody, or at least for everybody, and especially for the people that we know. Right? We don't want people getting wrecked out there, right? So we kind of moved over to the spot, and we're going to touch base on the leverage trading again in the future here, probably with a different indicator. But I personally, if I was going to use this and try and leverage, I would be doing very low leverage on a smaller time frame, like a 4 hour. If you end up getting the indicator, then you can lower the time frame if you wanted to try and do something like maybe on the 2 hour or something along those lines.
Yeah, so like Pi just mentioned there, we're in the process now of making the indicator available for everybody. So with that comes the ability to change the time frames. So this indicator is specifically built around three specific time frames: the 4 hour, the 1 day, and the 5 day. Though specifically built around minus the 1 day. Usually I use the 3 day, but I didn't want to lose too much of the action because everyone that knows me knows that I always use the 3 and the 5 day. Those were always my two favorite charts to use. So we went the 1 day route. It's nice. It makes everything kind of flow really good together. So yeah, you can change it down to a different time frame, but it won't be as accurate. So again, like some of them hit big, right? Others not so good. So you definitely would have to use it in a low leverage, tight stop loss situation, right?
Right.
Or your own risk tolerance, right? Like whatever you're willing to lose, more or less.
Yeah, I mean that's correct. That's exactly how I would play it. If you're going to do that, you definitely want to use lower leverage. Uh, you don't want to be coming in with 100x. I mean that would be a little too risky, right?
Pulling Andy, bottoms in 200x. Hey, he's getting it. So hopefully he's taking profits. I mean, that's good, but we definitely would never ever recommend anyone to do anything like that, like 200x on any of these calls. It's not, like Pi said, developed for leverage. It's
Right.
specifically built for spot buys on a macro time frame. So our goal, our focus is on a Bitcoin and Ethereum 5 day dot. If there's a 5 day red dot active, you should stay away. Um, we trying to time a bottom in these kind of situations. You're literally possibly buying a falling knife, right? We're not low where we don't have much farther to go down. Things can go down a lot farther, right? The altcoins will recover a little bit, but then they'll drop 5% more, and you'll see some zeros added in the wrong direction, right? Uh, so let patience plays here. Uh, I wouldn't make any too many hasty decisions or trying to, you know, go ahead and
Right.
you see a dot and okay, I'm loading, I'm aping in on this right now, right? Um, it's better to play it safe. But let's get into the next question here. I think we covered that pretty well. So Quentin asked a good question here. Do you plan to grow the channel and have thousands of members, or to keep it small? Uh, just to simply put it, we're just trying to educate people. This is a super toxic market now. With the government and institutional investment, uh, things do not play the way they used to. It's kind of the reason why I got into indicators. Um, I was on Facebook. I was kind of getting tired of, playing the charts. I always played the charts. I always played the trends. It seemed like, everything was getting validated, but, just enough to hook you in and then ripping down. And it's like,
Right.
whoa, you're not really used to that, right? So this is where this whole idea came from. Uh, it's like you kind of got to go with trends now, and it's just so it's a minefield. This is just a safe way to invest without losing all your money, or bag holding forever, thinking that XRP is going to $10,000 because Swift switched over and they
Right,
have
right.
some ETFs. I mean, uh, or the SEC dropped its lawsuit. I mean, none of that
Right.
matters. If
Yeah, I
no
mean,
one's
there's
buying it,
a lot of those dates, right?
yeah. So again, yeah. So it's more or less whoever wants to join and learn and invest safely. I mean, the door's open. Uh, we're not really. We don't have any specific goals on limitations. We're not trying to actively swamp hundreds of people or thousands of people to, we just want people to make money. I mean, bottom line, this sucks when the big whales and the institutions and the market makers are just sucking all the liquidity out of the market. We want to make sure that our guys are safely investing, so they have a system that protects them from these kind of capitulations, right? So
Right.
it's super important to not just use one part of the system, as in the buy signals, but to use the other part of the system, which is in the Discord with the TA bot, that gives you the analysis in real time, and gives you professional stop losses where it's under where retail would put their stop loss.
Right.
Um, so it gives you a better survival rate, more or less, to, if there is a move to be had, you'll end up catching it, right?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, really, the goal is to, try and help people and unlearn bad habits and to also educate. Right. This project
one to
from
six
the
months.
yeah, this project from the beginning was it was pretty big, right? There's just the indicator itself was massive, right? And when we brought it to life and we're bringing in the alerts into the Discord, right? We were literally getting 150 alerts, if not more, every 20 seconds. I mean, it was absurd. So the need to build a second program, right? The Discord bot, the one did you guys see, the ticker bot, came to life, right? Which was an equally massive project to build. So really, I mean, and then that kind of evolved into the technical analysis alerts. So how could we train and teach people what is going on, right? Like
Exactly.
what are the alerts mean? Where to set your stop losses? Because not everybody's going to know where to put stop losses, right? I mean, you can look at the chart and you can take a guess, but the system is flexible enough to give you tight and loose alerts or loose stop losses, and of course, it gives you varying losses on each of the different time frames, right? So the 4 hour is going to be tighter than the 1 hour. The 1 hour is going to be tighter than a 5 hour. So really,
You mean day?
I
He
mean
means
the
day.
the the,
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that really, that's the goal, is to try and educate the masses here, and your 1 to 6 months hold. Yeah, I mean, so I've had XRP for over a year. I'm still waiting for my goddamn moonshot, right? So I could have sold it 4 or 5 times over this past year, right, and probably quadrupled the size of my bag. So trying to get rid of that old mentality and into a newer mindset, which is more like a hybrid scenario now. So you've gone from 1 to 6 month holding And then you have the other side of it, leverage trading. So you're kind of, the two are kind of married together, so you're kind of like spot buying with stop losses, right? Which is probably what everybody should have been doing from the get go, right? But
Yeah,
that didn't take place.
as long as and yeah, yes and no. It's all depends on where you're at. Say in the cycle, and again, where you put your stop loss. Is it where it's going to be reachable? Like a good target where most people, other people, probably looking at the same chart as you are and putting the same stop loss as you. Now there's a million people with the same stop loss, for example. You guys are a target, right? So this system kind of is flexible, that it moves with the lines that are provided with the indicator, so you can kind of follow along with it too, so you can recognizing what the thing is actually doing, and have professional stop losses that are are usually, when they're hit, it's going down. So it was a good hit, right? Of course, there's going to be a time or two or whatever that you're going to get tagged and it's going to go up. Who cares? Whatever. Depending on where it's at and what dots are active, look to get back into it when you can. If not, move on to the next project. There's more than one asset that moves at the same time, or in conjunction with other assets. So one asset will move at this time, and then tomorrow this one will move. So we have that Discord available with all the alerts that are fed right into there. Uh, if you're trying to scalp, you're looking for gold or green 4 hours, depending on your own risk tolerance, and playing the system that way. Then paying attention for the red dot on the 4 hour to try to plan a possible exit with a tighter stop loss, or try to time it and wait for a higher time frame if you think that it's going to continue upwards, if the chart is saying that, right? And that's all about like trying to identify structures and everything, but we'll be getting into that. That's one of the questions as well too, right? And it's super challenging, but at the same time super rewarding once take into account that there's structures inside of structures, outside of structures. So on different time frames, there could be a different structure that's bigger structure, but on the 4 hour it has one structure, but inside of that structure it has a different structure, right? But yeah,
Yeah, I
I think
mean, if you're not looking at every single time frame, then you're not picking out every structure, unless you're scanning everything, and if you got 20 assets you hold, that's a lot of scanning around, right?
yeah,
Oh god.
way too much. So let's see what the next question here was. So the next question is from, where were we here? Quentin, and then down to Goose. Oh, there we go. It was actually to identify structures and the direction they represent. So if you look at the Ethereum chart here, for example, I'll just go over some pretty basic, easy structures to identify, right? So if you look here, clearly a double top played, right? So this here was a bull flag that played out right into a double top. So it didn't really play out. It kind of faked out. Like you can see where it broke out, retested, and then just broke down, right? Created a bear flag here. The bear flag was invalidated, came up triple top, right? Uh, Easy to identify now that it's played out, right? So it's not as easy when when it's happening, right? Uh, so you kind of got to try to look ahead, like right here, bear flag that played out, right? Or Head and Shoulders is in there, well, right? So there's two bear structures inside of there. Um, at one time, this was a bear flag, right? Or bull flag, sorry. But
Right.
it's clearly invalidated now, right? So, kind of what I'm looking for now, um, and I mean, it's probably what everyone's looking for. So it's probably not going to happen. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. This is the breakout point from this here kind of structure in a sense, right? I kind of rejected here a little bit, bounced around, consolidated under here, and then this is kind of like the true breakout in my opinion, right? So you can see it kind of used that as support, and wicked up, and now we kind of need more candles to see what kind of structure we have. There's guys that are anticipating down here, right? So I mean, another possibility. You can always land up down here and form, start of an inverse or a double bottom, depending on what kind of structure and how fast it gets down there or whatever, right? So there's like a million and one things to look out for. It's super stressful and challenging, especially when you don't really know what you're looking at. This here makes it a lot easier, right? Like look, you're buying here, you're coming at a bear, right? Well, I guess this is, yeah, technically it's first bear, right? After a run up there. But you know, those are great buys if you're buying down there, right? Um, gives you lots of warnings of, hey, stop loss, right? And with the system, um, your stop loss, I mean, you might have got tagged in some spots, right? But if you go down on the lower time frame, that's when you get back in, right?
Right.
Uh, so it's something to look for. Um, so so yeah, again, to get back into what I mentioned before, it's super hard now, and especially with all the manipulation that happens and the Trump tweets. Like, you could be in the best flag ever or whatever. Like that could be some of the stuff that broke down or whatever. Like just bad black swan events. Trump tariffs or when they dropped bombs on Iran or when Russia attacked Ukraine or when COVID happened. Um,
Right.
so
Yeah. I
so
mean, no
there's things
indicator is
that
going to
aren't
find
in
that, right?
yeah, exactly. There's things that are just out of your control, right? Uh, so again, can't 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 catch a falling knife or be a part of a falling knife if you got a stop loss set, right?
Right. And we have in the Discord, we have a structure identification chart, right, that we put in there. Kind of goes over what each of the structures look like, right? And it will help identify. And of course, if anybody has any questions about the structures, and you can always post something up in the Discord. And, there's quite a few TA people in there that can easily answer it for you. He's gonna pull up the chart here on this stream.
Yeah. So there's three here for now. I mean, like Pi said, it's easy to ask. There's lots of knowledgeable guys in our Discord. You guys know that. If I'm not around, Quentin's there, Dylan. There's many others that can easily tell you, hey, yeah, this looks bad. Uh, Stay away, or um, Dylan's really good for that. And he's active, and he's really good at charting. Um, so yeah, I would take his advice in a trade. So yeah, you guys should definitely too. Quentin too. He has a lot of experience and knowledge. You guys really have to learn to utilize that uh, and really take in what guys like that are saying. Like even me, like I, I'll take in what he says all the time. Uh, you know, try to really understand what he's trying to say and look at it in his way if I'm not looking at it or if I don't see it, right? So yeah,
Hmm.
you really need to have an open mind, right? And it's really important on who you're taking advice from. Like for example, Pi said there the 1 to 6 month mentality, buy this and hold forever. Well, doesn't make any sense if you're trying to make money on an altcoin that
Right.
loves the dump on you all the time, like XRP, right?
Right. I mean, that's absolutely correct. I mean, that mentality uh, has gotten a lot of people, pretty far underwater. I mean, they're just going around with a snorkel at this point. So hopefully we can turn some of that stuff around, get people on the right track, and a good mindset of when to take profits and when to re-enter and so forth. I mean, your entry point is just as important, obviously, as your way to get out, right? Um, when we talk about those red dots, right? It's not like oh my god, I gotta immediately dump the asset, right? So it's not like that. It's more of it's more of a warning signal, right? So to get your stop loss in place because the momentum is slowed. So
Yeah. So just to touch base once more with the whole structure thing, I'll kind of give you my little custom cheat sheet that I built with customizing the lines that we have available and the tools that we have available. So I've built these lines with different variables that are provided with the original indicator to, and I mean, there was a lot of trial and error with it, but I figured it out. So this here will represent what I call a bull channel. Right here, where we briefly touch in here, is like a chop channel, as you can see. So this here would be super easy to identify for me. And this is where I had that 2,000% long on Ethereum. Was I timed this? I entered a long in here. I sold a lot of it up here and in here, and then sold the rest in down around here because things were invalidated. But in my eyes, anyway, what I wanted to see from the asset, anyway, I felt like there was too much risk and not enough reward to hold my leverage, right? And I'm glad I didn't. So um, this here bull channel, chop channel. So it's a bull flag, right? Bull channel into a consolidation channel, right? Right on my that's my go-to line. This here's my line that I use religiously for almost everything. As you can see, when we break over, I don't like it unless it gets retested right away, kind of like here. So broke out over, retest it, moved up. Uh, Broke out over, retest it, moved up. Uh, Broke out over, kind of tried to retest but didn't. Came back, retest, too late, kind of thing. Reject it, right? We've been rejecting it since. We broke out over it here. We had a clean, healthy breakout retest, so that was kind of like bait to me, in my opinion. Then there's another channel that I follow. Um, Get this up. So this here is bear channel. This means the price is going to go down. We lost this. It's under the 9, and it's in between the bottom basis line. Once it falls out under that basis line, like it did here, but got sucked back up, there was buying pressure still at this time because people felt like this was still a validated bull flag, myself included. That's okay. So it got sucked up, rejected. Look, right here. I know better. I should have known better. I figured it was gonna bounce here where it was. Usually that's where my buys are. It's somewhere that's why it's green. Um, if but depending on the structure, my old mentality anyway. Before I had this, like this was my way of trading before any of this, right?
Yeah.
So then once this lost this, this formed a capitulation channel is what I call it. So now, yeah, it's really bad. We finally broke out over it, right? Closed on it pretty much. So close over it, right? Open over it. So that's a good start. And by start, I mean, yeah, like maybe a little putt, right? But we got a long way to go. This is the line that we need to break if we want to try to continue upward. I mean, this line, by the time that we would get up here, would probably drop down.
Yeah, that average will drop
Right?
over time here. But,
Yeah, right. So it's just a guideline, right? Because we're probably gonna get that basis line to bear cross that 200, right? That's probably gonna play out. But see, these are lagging indicators, right? So these are not going to give you accurate real time decisions by the asset, right? Um, it's just some like most times the death cross already marked the bottom in some cases. You know what I mean? So, but in other cases it didn't. There was still more to be lost, right? Yeah, this has pretty much become a game of trying to get buys in down here, like look, and setting stop losses where you feel like you should at the appropriate time. Like I don't, would you want to be setting a stop loss in this kind of structure after this kind of move? Probably not. I know I wouldn't be, right? If I felt like there was some risk there, I would just take some profit. So I would take like, if let's say you bought this dot, it was here, it's let's say you didn't buy it right away because it's flashing, right? But it's getting close to close, it's going to close. So you buy it up around here, for instance, right? So you could ride free money at that point, right? And if you see that the structure is broken, the flag's broken, it's validated, and there's going to be a break to the upside. I mean, you can simply just buy back the 50% that you sold in around here or in around here, right? I mean, you wouldn't have lost that much off of the trade, and you would have saved yourself a little bit of risk, right? So again, it always comes down to risk tolerance, right? Your own risk tolerance, right? So whatever you feel comfortable with doing, if you feel like you should protect your capital, then you should. I mean, don't listen to anybody else other than, oh, you know what? This information here is readily available for me in the Discord. It's suggesting that I probably should do it. I'm going to do it, right? It's only there for your protection. We didn't do this for fun. And I mean, I
well,
know
I
where it's
certainly had a whole
set.
lot of fun. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, and like I already knew all this. I mean, I'm the one that had all this uh in my mind to begin with, like the idea where Pi was like, I want to take your TA and turn it into an indicator and make it the modicator. It
Right.
was a joke at the time,
Yeah,
right?
it
But
started back in August, right?
yeah, I mean that so and here we are, we're gonna change the name to it's not gonna be the modicator. I mean that's you know
Right.
it's good and everything, but
Right.
we're,
And you
we're,
got to keep
we're
in mind, I mean, you're looking at this chart and it's already came to fruition, right? So, I mean, if you don't know that you're going to rip up there, you're probably going to have your stop loss in, especially when it starts pulling back, and and you don't have to pull out 100%, right? Unless you're going to just take it out and move on to the next trade. But, you can always start, small, take out 25%, 20%, 10%, whatever the case may be, and then readjust to the bands, your stop loss to the bands, after that. And if it looks like it's going to end up, plummeting, and then you could just, exit out of it. But, you know, again, use your own risk tolerance, to decide what it is exactly you're trying to accomplish here, right? But you always want to stay in in the green, right? We're the days of being underwater. We're going to put that stuff behind us. I'm tired of it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are also as well. Probably missed a lot of the sells from this last pump, and now we're sitting here waiting, right?
yeah, yeah. So that definitely was the goal here. Is like, I didn't want to see anyone else lose any money. I mean, I know the ropes for the most part to de-risk and where what I should and shouldn't do. But we have a lot of new guys that don't, and like I don't want to see them get turned away from crypto because of manipulation and miss out on what's to come, right? Um, Long-term crypto, I mean, it hard not to be bullish. I mean, let's be real. Long-term, I'm bullish. I always will be with crypto. Everyone knows I'm a Bitcoin maxi by heart. Uh, don't sell your Bitcoin, man. I might start selling it though someday. we'll 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 approach that when the time comes. But
Right.
is my screen still up right now, Pi?
Yeah.
So like take a look at this. It's a goddamn Christmas tree. You know, what do you sell? What do you buy? Because there's no strategy with these dots. They just print. It's not like there's nothing that goes with it that says, "Hey, okay, the dot printed here, so you should put your stop loss here, or you should do this, or look for this." Right? Doesn't do any of that. Right? Uh, this these red dots. That's all that is literally professional warnings. Right? It's calling indicators that you probably don't know to look for. I mean, most do not look for the stuff that we've put into this system, right? And yeah, I mean, it's gonna save you big, big time. Like especially if you go to the most recent event, right? Like you had lots of warning there. Like look,
Yeah.
you bought down here. Look, you bought down here. You get warning here, right? So you might have got tagged out. It could have been possible right about here, right? So you would just look at the 4 hour time frame and see if you had another buy opportunity. If you didn't, I mean, at that time, oh look, perfect, right? Right after. So you got tagged out here. If you put a stop loss in, then it
Right.
gave you
On that drop.
another, yeah, and then it gave you another buy right afterwards, right? And you didn't have to sit there and wonder what it's going to do or whatever. You're just waiting, right? Because I mean, you would have got stopped out up here off of one of these lines. Like this is a big conjunction here of lines, so your stop loss definitely is in around here, right? So you would have saved yourself, 16%. I mean, zoomed out, it don't look
Yeah,
like much, right?
zoomed out, it looks like,
Yeah.
oh, it's nothing. It's
Oh,
just a wash
yeah.
trade.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
but
That
that's not
that
the
that's
case.
it. Right? Yeah, and like boom, look, you're right back in on the uptrend, right? I mean, I'm telling you guys, I put my heart and soul into this, and I know Pi did too, and like I I I strived for perfection. If there was something that was a little bit off, we spent hundreds of hours trying to fix it, if not thousands, of just staring at
Oh,
that
easily.
charts and back testing everything and doing everything humanly possible, right? So the accuracy, it's high, right? Uh, it's not like, see here, for instance, for example, the 4 hour chart is the least reliable out of our system, right? And like, look, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of the 5 dots that are there that you can see, well, 6, 7, because that had a red dot, right? Uh, uh 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So there's a couple, right, on the 4 hour time frame that, you know, you should use a stop loss. I mean, even if you're buying it down here and it still plays, right? A stop loss is still safe. Just your stop loss, the recommendation would have been 1.5% under this low, right? Until you would have broke a zone, right? This would have printed. The TA bot would have told you, hey, listen, this here looks a little sketchy. It's starting to lose momentum, right? It would have been 1.5% under this one or this one, right? Um, you probably would have got tagged if you were using the stop loss on the 4 hour, right? But not on the daily or the 5 day. So again, really take into consideration where you're buying and where you're at in the cycle to apply a stop loss. Um, Obviously, if you're buying it down here, you're not really worried about putting a stop loss so tight right here, right? You're anticipating a bigger move to be had than 50%, because we are talking about Ethereum here, and we know it can run, right.
Right.
um
Yeah. And you're
so
not going to
yeah.
buy the top with this indicator. I
No,
mean,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. It's just not going to happen. Just the metrics are in there that the price, the price and the momentum has got to be low to get that dot in the first place, right?
Yeah,
So, I
exactly.
mean, there would have to be some monumental collapse in the market to get a gold dot to print and then a red dot to come under that price. Something drastic would have to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because we've back tested it. We've scoured the charts.
I
We've
couldn't find one, and I've looked
no.
through. I mean, I didn't. And I stayed away from even the top coins. I was looking at altcoins. I was just trying to find one that would give me a gold dot with a red dot under it, and I could not find any. And I looked at meme
Either can
coins and
I.
all that.
Yeah, exactly. And either could I, right? And that's why we say the 5 day is what we're focused on here. Um, there's recommendations in the trading rules on how to approach other time frames and other dots, like the green dot, for example, and the gold dot. Those are the only. We do have the rocket dot. We're considering on just removing that because
Yeah.
it kind of prints the same as a green dot. So the rocket dot would come, then a green dot would come, then a gold dot, like really
Right.
confirming that you just came out of like super oversold, super everything low metric,
Right. You really need a
continue.
crash, right? I'm actually surprised we didn't really get any on the 10th, but um, yeah. So we're considering taking that out to save some code space. All right. Let's
Yeah.
see. What do we got here in the next one? Are we still on KP here, right?
No, actually, we didn't even get into KP. We just
Oh,
we're
okay. We
covering
just
the
okay.
Goose's structure there. So KP, what type of trades will this indicator work for, long or short? Well, we kind of covered that, right?
Yeah.
With the question when they asked about the leverage, and that this is a system specifically designed for spot buys. It's not intended for leverage whatsoever. I mean, if you want to short a red dot, by all means, go right ahead. Use your stop loss. Do whatever. We will never ever recommend you to do it until we're ready to buckle down and focus on the second indicator, which is the second part, which would be focused only on leverage. Um, but this here was our main concern, was providing something that was safe for spot buyers, especially new
Yeah.
traders that don't understand the market and how it works, and that they're listening to guys like Jake Claver or Clever or whatever it is saying XRP is going to $10,000. You're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be a multi-billionaire. And like, don't you know? And like so many people get sucked into that. Just to stay away from social media, guys like that. They just literally are there for views and sponsors. Like they get paid to do that stuff, right? So we're not here to show anything to anybody or saying, okay, we have Riz here, buy buy so I can sell it on you, right?
Yeah. Buy
There's
and
not going to
stake
be,
it.
yeah, there's not, there will never be any of that out of this channel. I do not agree with the pump and dumps. I tried it with one of our members that kind of suggested it with us. No, it's not for me. I don't like doing it. I'm done with it. I'll stick to my fundamentals. I'll stick to the coins that I believe in, the projects that I have conviction in, that have real use case. They're they're gonna require demand, right? So that there's what you should be focused on. Bitcoin, Ethereum, unfortunately, yeah,
Yeah.
XRP.
I knew you were
Uh,
gonna say it. Knew it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
XRP with the long-term mentality, right? I'm not telling you to buy it right now and hold it forever. It's going to be $10,000. I don't know that, right? But it's built a very good case for itself for you to invest in it and for a longer-term vision. So yeah, the Solana, another one, Link, AVAX. Recently, I've been paying a lot of attention to Bitcoin Cash, BCH. I'm actually waiting to get into that project myself here. I'm going to take a position in it on the next 5-day gold. And yeah,
Well,
there's
let me
a
ask you,
few others,
what
but
about
I'm
H bar?
yeah. Oh, I hate HBAR. I mean, yeah, another great one, right? XCN. No, don't buy XCN. I mean, gee, if you bought it and you got it staked or whatever, good. Just but XCN, I don't know what's going
Right.
on there. There's too much of a pump and then sold right off, right? So I'm losing a lot of conviction with it.
Right.
So I don't want to suggest anyone to buy it.
Yeah.
Believe me. So the other question that he asked, what time frame should we be looking at when making entries? Well, we covered that as well, the 5-day. I mean, but right now, I consider all these dots no good, in my opinion. They're to build a safe position, because Ethereum and Bitcoin both have 5-day red active dots, and yeah,
Right.
we're in some deep water with some, a lot of variables coming up, which are good too, like good variables coming up, right? But the overall macro chart screams get the hell out, right? So
Right.
yeah, you gotta charts don't lie, right? You can't trade off a hopium. Pi knows that now.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, there was
it's
a tagline opportunity there. I mean, the charts don't lie, but men and women do, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Um, so his last question, do we need to subscribe to the TA and dot confirmations if we're going off of the dot confirmation channels? You can cover that,
Yeah,
Pi.
so so it was requested to kind of bring these to the forefront. So the short answer, no, you don't have to subscribe to the dots. I would absolutely subscribe to the technical analysis alerts, because that's going to feed you your stop losses and all the information about what's going on with the asset. These dot channels here, they take the base placard that comes in, right? So if we kind of go down here and take a peek at one. Okay, so the gold dot alert, it comes with all the information, where the Bitcoin dominance is, the price versus the basis line. It tells you what the MA, all the MA prices are, and whether we're in an uptrend or not. Our momentum with the histo, and it tells you where we are in relation to all the bands, right? So we're above, on this one, Bitcoin dominant. This is Bitcoin dominant, so it's not going to have any stop losses or anything like that. But we can see that we're above the 9 and the middle Bollinger Band. So so it does have all that information in there if you want to follow a specific asset, like if you want to try and follow. If you want to try and follow like Link or whatnot, so that information will come in and you can kind of see what it's saying. These alerts, I wanted to try and keep it small, so we just kind of stripped the body out of it and just had the dot. The next version, that's going to be, I haven't loaded it yet because I'm still back testing. We're going to put a lightning signal in front of the flashes, so it kind of makes it a little more visible. So the technical analysis alerts, I think, is an absolute must, just because it's going to help teach you, and you're going to see,
Exactly.
what is the asset doing, right? I mean, is it moving in a positive direction? Because these dots don't come all the time, right? I mean, you look at, I think,
No, they're pretty rare, right?
right.
Like yeah,
I
like
mean, I think in the
you
entirety
can
of
wait.
XRP, you
Yeah.
had maybe 5 or 7 buy signals since the beginning. So you're not going to get flooded with these dots, but you will get a lot of the technical alerts, right? Because you're going to have actions that are going to call those out: crossing bands, losing bands, rejecting bands. And that's kind of the driving factor that's going to guide you along the way
Yes.
for the exchange to sell you, right?
Exactly.
Unless you're going to be coming in and saying, you know what, I want to get out of it, and then you're going to sell the asset. That's one thing. But the majority of the time, the exchange is going to sell you based off of your stop loss. So whether whatever size position you feel like you want to exit with, right? So these will not come in very often as compared to the technical alerts. So, but the alerts, absolutely, you probably want to follow those alerts.
Yeah, and like just to touch with that a little bit. I mean, you guys are always asking, hey, where should I do this or that? That that essentially that bot is asking me in real time what you should do and where you should put it. You don't have to wait for me to answer or wait, if I'm online or whatever. You could simply type slash asset report and select the time frame or in the ticker and look for recommended stop losses, and it'll tell you what the last technical analysis alert was, right? So yeah, it's if you're trying to learn, absolutely. And I mean, why are you in this if it's not to learn? I mean, I'm always learning. I'll still learn new things. I mean, if anyone's going to tell you that they know everything there is to know about everything through trading, they're full of it. I'll tell you that right now, right? And that's why, like I mentioned before, guys like Quinn and stuff. I take serious consideration in anything that anyone like that has to offer, and that you got to listen to that stuff, right? And come to your own conclusion, of course. I mean, I'm not telling you.
Right. 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 Yeah, I mean that in another point I wanted to touch on too. So when if you wanted to just look at the dot channels, but if you're interested in, I'll pick a different asset. Okay, I'll pick let's say Link, right? So if you want to, like, I want to buy Link, so you can go ahead and subscribe to get gold dot flashes or confirms with Link, and of course, doing that you can also set it up to ping, right? So the dot channels aren't going to ping you unless you're scanning that channel. You're going to miss that that opportunity when it presents itself. So that's another reason that you'd want to subscribe to something versus you might not want to subscribe to every single asset, but if you wanted to pinpoint one particular one, that's definitely a good way to go about doing it. Right.
if not more, as Ethereum and Bitcoin, and 10% as USDC or T, whatever you use, right? And then the remaining in your top projects, pick 2 or 3 charts that you feel are bullish. I mean, you're gonna have to take a look and try to see what what it looks like from a TA perspective, right? Which one's going to have the best chart, which one's probably going to give you the best return, like which one has, like, for instance, a bull flag setting up compared to like a triple bottom or a quad bottom or whatever, right? So other things have more measured moves compared to others. So you really want to look at the chart that you're buying too, right? You don't want to be like, oh, okay, gold dot, I should just buy it because it has a gold dot, right? Try to take in the consideration of the TA aspect of it by using cheat sheets and taking a look at the chart and seeing if you can identify something. And if you think you do, share your chart. I'd love to see other people's charts. I'd love to see other people's ideas all the time. I don't know why more people don't share charts. I feel like Quentin, Dylan, me, and I can't really think of anyone else that really shares any charts. Just ideas, right? And like, it's great to share ideas, but you should be showing where that idea comes from. I mean, saying I think we're gonna drop a little bit more until tomorrow, and then we're going to go back up. I mean, okay, well, yeah. Well, what do you see that I don't see, or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, okay, like I'm open to that, but show me what you see. I mean, it's important to share if you're going to share knowledge, to share where you got it from, right?
Right. Let's see what else we got here. I think we got some from Mo. How and when they should be used, both in profit and in the red for the stop losses.
You should definitely cover that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get these technical alerts, right, that come in, and let me swap over to here. So you'll see these alerts coming into the system, and it's going to give you, a few of them, a few choices. That's not the right one. So if we go ahead and take a look at one of these alerts that came in off of, let's find something that's not there. Okay. I might not have any. I might not be subscribed. So let me take a peek here. I'm sure there's a plethora in here. So we have ZEC here. This is on the 4-hour time frame. So this is going to, we had a breakout flashing above the 100 here. So it's going to recommend us to move this stop loss up to this tight level, right? You'll see this previous LL, right? So that's the previous local low of the previous low candle, right? So we kind of take a look at the chart here, and we'll see. So what that means is like, so if that alert came in on this candle, right, it's going to go to the previous lower candle, right, which is going to be this 1.5% below that. So that's what that PPL means. It's going to go to the previous low candle and set that up for that stop loss. Then when you take a peek at the alert again, we can see that, where is it here? Okay, so then we have a loose setting, right? So the loose setting is going to be based off of the 200, right? So we can see that the asset is currently above the 9 and the 200. So the tight one's going to be the previous low candle, and the fallback line for a looser stop is the 200, right? So when you buy an asset and off of the green dot, you were that's your entry point, right? As soon as you start moving up, the system, let's just say it's only been a half hour, and the price has gone up a little bit, and it happened to throw a signal out there. The stop loss recommendation is going to be your entry point if there's no other bands to pick from between the current price and the entry price, right? So it's going to fight to keep you in the profit. You can leave that loose. I mean, you can always take 2% below your entry price. So that's going to keep you in the profit. So if you're in the red already, like you're underwater, like most people are, yeah, I mean, you can run a stop and exit out of some of that that asset and enter back in on the next entry point. Right now, everything seems to be kind of moving in a downward fashion. Maybe not as much as it was earlier, but it seemed to be moving a little sideways on the smaller time frame.
XRP broke $2, bro.
Yeah, look at this,
Oh.
right? So
it's mooning.
yeah, so you have so things look like they might be heading in the right direction a little bit, at least for now. On the smaller time frame, we'll see it a lot better. You can see we kind of chop sideways here. And we'll let the indicator load up here. But when you're in the red, running that a tighter or a looser stop loss is gonna keep you from losing more money, right? So if we zoom out and we were in the red all the way up here and we got stopped out, I mean, look at that, would have been a blessing, right? Because you would have been exited up here, and then you could have re-entered back down here. Now this is the 1 hour, so we're not going to get any gold dots on it because we don't track that time frame for them. Likewise, this is that time frame over here. So that's how I run my stuff, right? Is okay, here's that entry point right here. So you would have been exited out there, you would have got another entry here, and then you would have gotten stopped out again, and then I would suspect we're going to get another entry point here soon. Where's the Discordian here? He says, what's the next one?
How to properly DCA a losing position. Well, that kind of you kind of covered that one too.
Yeah, I mean,
how to properly scalp and ladder a winning position. We covered that kind of too with your own risk to reward ratio. Put a stop loss on whatever position that you're looking to exit. If it's all of it, it's all of it. If it's 10%, 10%. And set the stop loss with the TA bot. If it hits your target price, sell it. I mean, you should be going in to assets like this with targets, right? Again, looking for structures and trying to find measured moves, right? Try to line that up with the dots for confirmations just for yourself. Say, okay, this is a bear pennant. It's gonna, I'm gonna measure the length of the flag, measure it down from where it broke down. This is roughly where, it should bottom out. So I should, see a green dot come in around this area, right? So that's
pull your chart up.
Yeah, so that's gonna signal to you that, hey, yeah, I was correct. This is the structure that's currently playing out. I should, look maybe for an entry if again on your own risk tolerance, or wait for the confirmation. It's pretty simple. The confirmation comes. Yeah, you can buy it right away if you want. I mean, it really depends on you. Or I personally like to take a look at it, try to chart out an entry point. I don't know if is my chart up,
No.
my screen up. If you can put my screen up for a
There you
second
go.
here. I had one that I drew up for the guys the other day. Yeah. So guys asked me on that last rose dot that we had here. Like as you can see, they've all played. But if you didn't use the stop loss anywhere, you kind of got stuck bag holding, right? Because there was no reds that printed here. It was just on the 4 hour, right? So again, it's really important to pay attention to the alerts that are coming in. So when this here printed here, and then if you use your stop loss, you got tagged out. You were looking to re-enter here when it gave the dot here, right? It already broke out through. So I told them to watch for this to see what would happen with this here resistance. It hit the resistance because I normally would only recommend you to buy it if I seen a breakout over it and a retest, right? That's showing that that it just broke the resistance and that there's a better chance of it going up than down. My idea behind it was there was two support lines and ascending support 1 and 2, one off of this structural low, right, and one off of this structural low that followed this trend. As you can see, there was quite a few candles that followed that trend. So I had a strong conviction that was a solid trend line to follow. It did play for a while. Even this one here broke down. It broke down here, tried to retest, reject it. Kind of a fake out here. You got bearish candles, right? Engulfing candle. Broke down under here. It didn't even have enough buying volume to come retest that. So that there to me would be probably the main resistance for right now. You would have to maybe use this to try to find a new trend, but you would need more candles to try to figure out what it's doing, or go to a higher time frame and see what structure it is showing its face on that time frame, right? So again, when these print, sure you can buy them. Again, you should use your stop loss, right? Because like some of these are nuts, right? You got the dots here, and then it went up, crazy. And some of these alts are nuts, right? They're not as reliable as Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or Solana or anything like that. But they make the same moves, so why not just buy those? You buy, like, you go here to XRP, for example, because I know Pi loves it so much, right? If you go down up onto the 5-day, because that's what our focus is on, you catch big moves with it, right? Buying down and around here. I mean, you made a bigger move there than gambling with than Rose, right? And then you even had continuation trades that you could take advantage. So you literally caught XRP's entire move this run so far. If it's over, it's over. I mean, it is what it is. But this system isn't going anywhere. I mean, there's going to be more buying opportunities, right? Yeah, it sucks right now, right? Because we should have sold here. I mean, I did sell here, and everyone was laughing at me at the time. They're like, "Oh, you sold XRP." was like, yeah, 350 is my target. I actually sold it. I think it was like 344 or something like that, somewhere close.
Right.
I don't
And
usually like to focus on round numbers because that's what retail mentality, right? I'll try to either exit before them, right?
you're
Uh,
right. Yeah.
so
And the
yeah,
indicator is programmed to stay off of even numbers like that.
yes, I made sure of that because I had a big problem with it when I seen it, and why is it saying this? This is not what we want, right? So I took the utmost care and took in consideration of everything when we were fine tuning this, right?
Right.
I went over it with like a brush on top of a brush on top of a brush multiple times. Even put up my own money back testing it just to see, it wasn't much or anything like that. And it was actually early on with the leverage and that was a nightmare. Oh,
Yeah. That was
it's,
not easy. I mean, we were
yeah, it's
literally trying to make everybody millionaires overnight.
yeah, and we were just like, you know what, this market is too crazy.
Yeah.
It's not what we should be focused on right now. This is nonsense. So this is where we're at.
Right.
I,
And,
I'm happy we got here, right?
right. And XRP, of course, is still in the down channel on the 5 day. But the other time frames are lined up perfectly for the for the green and gold dots on the on the fib level. So it's looking pretty good for me.
Yeah, for him, but not for me. I mean, these metrics
Yeah.
are not good, and it still has, as you can see, a long way to go down.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I wouldn't be expecting $10,000 XRP when you wake up
No.
tomorrow morning.
Nope.
So yeah, so that covers all most questions. Those were good. Mike's questions. I mean we've covered that all night. Our mentality going in. Obviously, the mentality right now is a little different than the mentality would be out of buying in bear or buying coming out of bear. This isn't buying coming out of bear, so would we have the same exact mentality? No. I mean, so I'm just gonna base the mentality off of if we were coming in out of bear, what this system is designed for. Your focal focus is on these 5 day dots. You can ladder your position in off of that dot. You can put X amount of what you plan to take in that position and then use the daily and 4 hour after that to accumulate that position. Like as you can see, you had some really good opportunities here to accumulate your position, right? Um, I mean, geez, if you bought that dot and like and where is it right about here? So let's bring. I like to bring it up always because you're never gonna get it right when it's there, right? I mean, look at that. That's a couple days. I mean,
Yeah.
boom, boom, right? You
Right.
just you just 3x your position.
Yeah.
Boom, right? And then okay, you can now at that point put in one one third of that position as house money to build a position back into accumulation mode off of the 4 hour, right?
Yeah.
Or you can just say, you know what, I just tripled my position off of one big nice fat candle that I got here. I mean, just put your money back in. I mean, especially in bear like that, right? Put in whatever you're comfortable with and ride it out into the sunset, right? You would have been laughing off of any of those calls, right?
Yeah.
And again, like this is what you guys are buying, or we're buying, or being told what to buy. Look at that. it's a Christmas tree, literally. Like what and I know a lot of guys say, oh well, you just wait for the blue wave to be down low. Okay. which which blue wave?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, well, which one are you buying, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
and those
just
dots are still
insanity.
flowing in right now, even with everything dropping down. And I
Yeah,
just,
and it's been all week.
yeah,
Literally all week you've been being told to buy this stuff, right? And I mean, hey, at some point some of it's going to play out a little bit. I mean, but do you really want to be throwing all your money in down around here? Like, look, which blue wave did you buy? Which one?
yeah,
Tell me, right? Right there, you had two buys. Boom, boom, boom. Went down a little bit and then ripped. You had your sell signal,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
up.
this was really the whole reason that we brought this together, right? The Discord thing, was, came about, secondary because, figured it would be easier for everybody to have the alerts in the Discord. So it really, I'm pretty proud of both of them and how they progressed, and it's still going to keep evolving. Progress just never stops, right? Because if you stop, then of course you're going to get passed up by somebody that does something better, right? And I don't ever want to be in that position because I
No,
want to make sure
that's
that
right.
I'm doing the best thing possible,
Yeah,
especially for the people that look up to, the guys in the Discord and everything like that to, to make everybody as profitable as possible and stop losing money, right? I mean, that's the name of the game, right? We want to
yeah.
make some
Well,
money.
for sure. And like I can speak for him. Takes a lot of time away from her family and stuff doing this stuff. I mean, I've lived at this computer for hours on hours on hours on hours looking at charts, trying to get all this fine tuned. And, Pi was on the other end sitting there doing it too. And we were communicating on what we got, what we see, what we're doing. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg on this, but like this is that's all of this the factors that are in the indicator. I mean, and those are all metric driven, right? Those aren't just like A, B, and C. Those are like X, Y plus B, A plus everything mixed in
Right.
with everything, right? So to get to produce this from that, right? Um, I use this system, this one, as a reference because I mean this is like the gold standard for indicators for traders. I mean everyone knows the Wu Manchu, right? That Overkill ripped off and claimed as his own, right? And is selling it to people that don't know any better. And I mean
Right. And
that
VMC
that
is a
that
ripoff in itself of Market Cipher. So,
Yeah, so I mean, it's a scam on a scam by a scam, right? Ripping off someone else's intellectual property. So we built this 100% us. This is all us. There's not one thing that was used by any other indicator. Just simply use the metrics that every trader uses and my customized lines to go with those metrics, and this is what we got, right?
yeah.
There's a little bit more to it than that, but along those lines, this is what it produced, right? And we're super proud of this thing. I mean,
Right.
it's a moneymaker. I mean, let's be real, buying the stuff, right? I mean, look, Bitcoin, look, has not been a buy from this system on the daily time frame. So this is like try to get you guys to really understand how technically overvalued Bitcoin is per se. Like it's not on the grand scheme of things, right? But like that's a long time, right? And with good reason. I mean, because we've had these dots that were more macro and more consistent, that told us, hey, we got in off of the dailies down here, or even if you're buying down in bear down here off of the dailies, and then you got your gung ho confirmations right here. You had them
Right.
two back to back, and then from there it was all gravy, right? If you you literally, how do you mess that up? You can't.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally impossible. I mean, how can you buy here and lose money?
Yeah. I mean, it's
How do you buy here and lose money?
yeah.
How do you buy here and lose money? You don't. Not if you use the system that's designed here for you guys, right? These dots, these warning signals. Look at them. They're all right there, right at the top. We're telling you, hey man, this thing is top heavy, right? Look,
Yeah.
top heavy, right into back to back down channels, right?
Yeah.
Top heavy
I
down
mean,
channel.
when I first started, I mean, the 1 minute chart was my chart, man. I love the 1 minute chart, but
Ah, yeah.
this was a long time ago. That was my chart, but this 5 day chart, oh, I love this chart. I mean, it's just the dots that it prints on it. I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why it's our focal point, right? This is what you guys want to be seeing before you're buying anything. And like, yeah, hey, listen, some of these alts are they'll pump up a little quicker, right? Because they do. They'll move a little faster than Ethereum or Bitcoin. So that doesn't, like, just because of those will show up in print or whatever, you shouldn't take those as serious as you would when Ethereum or Bitcoin have an active 5 day dot, right?
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to hold up the volume and continue in an uptrend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the alts get slammed, and then you're bag holding, right? You thought you hit the jackpot, now you're down hard, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, as for the selling and Mike's question, um, again, depending on what you're buying, if you're buying these dots down here, I mean, you can use the 1 day or 4 hour or whatever stop system you want and DCA in and out that way, or you can just wait for the 5 day dot, have a target in mind. When you start seeing, top heavy kind of activity here, right? This here would have been nothing to me. I wouldn't be looking to use any kind of stop loss or any kind of anything buying this low.
Right.
Right? I mean, you're just coming out of a bear market. It's pretty obvious here, right? You're not using anything here. Here, I would. You don't know, you just 3x'd. So you're
Right.
definitely using a stop loss here, right? So after this string, right? It's like, okay, you're good, right? I'm not exiting. I'm not using anything. And even if you wanted to use 10, 20, 30% says stop loss, you can stop whatever.
Right.
Who cares? It is what it is. You still got a nice position in it, right?
Yeah.
You get stopped out for the rest in here, right? It doesn't call these fake pumps for you, right? It avoids them completely. You don't get stuck buying it and then going down, 20% or whatever that is. and then again, oh, false hope. You think you're going up again. No, nothing, right? And again, here, and like these aren't 1 day candles. You got to remember that. This is like a month. You know what I mean? You just avoided a month of nothingness.
Right.
You know, you can stake your USD for a month while you're waiting,
Right.
or
I mean-
whatever, or move on to another asset that's moving outside of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And
So if
then-
you got stopped out there, I mean, you took, 20% off, and you left 80% in. You had another gold dot that came up there right before we ripped up again. So you're taking more than 20% into it. So of course your position is going to be higher, or because
Yeah.
you bought in lower than the stop.
So yeah, definitely the focus here is Bitcoin and Ethereum.
I mean, the Ethereum
And the
5-day
5-day
chart
dot.
looks fire, man. I just.
Oh yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, it's just.
and we know when Ethereum moves, other things move. So this is what we are waiting for, right? We're not going to buy into a possible fake pump, right? We're going to wait for a confirmation that's telling us, like, this is literally telling us things are going to go up, right? I mean, this one maybe not as much. Excuse me, because you're in bear, right? You're accumulating. You're not going gung ho on here, so you're taking into consideration the cycles, right? And where you're at in the cycle. Same with in here, right? But you doesn't matter what is, you buy it, it's okay. Clearly, just wait. The prince, it's coming. The red dot's gonna come.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nowhere in any of the main assets that we've handpicked and built this around, more or less. There's none that will print this dot and you'll have a red dot that's lower. None of them. Not one of them. So again, patience. Patience is key here. And I mean, I know everyone doesn't want to wait forever, but sometimes you have to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what it is. You can't make things happen. Things just happen, right? But yeah, that like covers all the questions that we've had here. They're all pretty good questions. I know we're getting into a pretty lengthy video here now, and we
Yeah.
don't want to bore everybody with all our mumbo jumbo.
Right. But this is a
We're-
good
we're-
test. I mean, I wanted to get through and kind of test out the streaming portion to make sure that all this is working. I saw a couple comments that they couldn't hear my mic. So we really just want to kind of iron out the bugs. I thank you guys for like tuning into this. I appreciate everybody's support and efforts in using the bot in the alerts that come from the indicator, because you just have two people here testing it, so it works out really well, getting feedback from other people about what they see. Some of the Discord bot ideas came from feedback from you guys. So
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I really appreciate the feedback. I mean, I can take the feedback, turn it into code, but I can't think of everything off the top of my head, right? Of what it would be nice to see, right? So I mean, I do thank you guys for helping out in testing all this stuff out. So I mean, it's been a journey so far, and
Yeah, that's to say the least.
yeah, so I'm just hoping that
Yeah.
everybody can benefit from it and learn something, and hopefully everybody can make a lot of money here in the near future.
Yeah, like I said, thanks guys. I love trading with a lot of you guys. I've been, trading with you guys for quite some time. You guys have been, asking me for my input for quite some time. I'm just glad to be able to, share some stuff with you guys and see people, that are willing to learning. I've seen a lot of people that I've took some personal time with that, I'm kind of impressed with, how well they excelled. So yeah, I mean, keep it up, guys. And let's get some money. You know what I mean? Let's claw back here and try to climb out of the hole. This was a tough pill to swallow. I mean, it caught a lot of people off guard. If there's any more questions, I mean, obviously we want to hear them. We
Yeah,
have a
I mean, we
channel
could
set up there. We'll have another question and answer episode. As long as we get enough questions that are covering different topics that we didn't already cover, right?
Right. Yeah. So over time, everybody will get used to a lot of this stuff and why the dots do what they do. So, I mean, it takes time to kind of explain that stuff out. Hopefully, we explained it well enough.
Yeah.
For me,
So all the other
it's-
videos won't be this long.
right. Yeah. So for me, I mean, I program the dots to print, so I know exactly why they print. So sometimes I will gloss over something that I think is minute, but it doesn't mean it doesn't translate to somebody. So, I mean, if there's any other questions about that, just ask in the channel, and I'll see if I can give a proper answer for it. So, okay, guys. I mean, I think we'll probably call it there, and maybe go watch On Patrol Live or something. So,
Yeah. Just stay away from the charts for now. Just wait for some confirmations. Yeah, things are going green right now. I mean, it is what it is. Don't just cool. Hopefully, whatever. Just
yeah.
don't wait for that Bitcoin and Ethereum dot, guys. Seriously. Yeah, right on. Take care, guys.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.